Everybody's calling him the Door, so let's try Jose the Ayador. He's the hot one in Montreal, make no mistake about that. You know, he grew up, he was a Philadelphia Flyer fan. He loved Ron Hext all the way. He could shoot the puck, and Jose's the only goaltender in history to score a goal in a game and record a shutout in that same game. He turned the trick January 2nd, 2001 against the New York Islanders. He's the man to beat for the Carolina Hurricanes, who plan no lineup changes. Chris Cuthbert, Greg Millen standing by a little later on here and say that there will be some changes for Paul Maurice in terms of his lineup, if in fact they can juggle the lines to try and find a way to beat Theodore, to try and contain Saku Koivu and the amazing Doug Gilmour, who is nicknamed Killer. Brian Sutter gave him that name way back when he played with the St. Louis Blues. Montreal up 2-1 in the series. Let's send you to the Molson Center for a scene set and a word about how the Habs are getting it done. There's Scott Russell. Scott?
Oh yes, Ron, the fairy tale continues here in Montreal, where there's something in the air, a feeling that something magical is about to happen or is happening, and it's not just one player but several. Consider the Canadians' comeback kids, Gilmour, Koivu, Audette, Petrov, and Surrey. They're the guys that are turning it on for the Canadians. Everybody knows about Saku Koivu. Come back from cancer, he leads the Canadians in playoff scoring. Doug Gilmour, number 93, was retired at the season's outset. Not anymore. Back with killer's instinct, as you'd say. Oleg Petrov, first Russian to play for the Canadians back in 92-93. He's back and maybe stronger the second time around. Sheldon Surrey, he's got a broken wrist. He's got a separated shoulder, but the hits keep on coming on Carolina. Donald Audette missed half the season with a slash on the forearm, but he's got 5 goals, including the winner in OT in game number 3. They log a lot of miles, do the comeback kids, the forgotten 5. Look at those numbers. And in terms of goals, they've got 14 between them. That's better than 50% of the Canadians' playoff goal scoring. You know, the Montreal Canadiens as a team have already exceeded their expectations. That's the beautiful thing about this city. The expectation here in Montreal is every time the Canadians get to the Stanley Cup playoffs, they can win the big prize, the house of expectations. Welcome to Montreal.
Off number 60, Jose Theodore. Leading the Lions, number 11, Saku Koivu. Leading the Lions, number 25, Chad Pilger. Leading the Lions, number 28, Carl Dykos. Leading the Lions, number 43, Patrice Brisebois. Number 82, Donald Audette.
As mentioned, Chris and Greg are there in Montreal. Don Whitman is in St. Louis tonight. A little later on, bonus coverage of Detroit versus the Blues. When we come back, it's Game 4 between the Habs and the Hurricanes on Hockey Night in Canada and the Stanley Cup playoffs.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs on Hockey Night in Canada. Brought to you by Labatt Blue, official sponsor of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. This portion of Hockey Night in Canada brought to you by Ford of Canada, Canada's #1 choice.